GC here, and we're back for comics time. First up, issue 46 of the Sixth Gun. This issue has tons of action. We got the Spirit action, the Becky action, Drake action, and then it's just a lot of great action. Like, this is jam-packed. You can't get any better than this. A lot of gunfighting, a lot of, like, Becky action here, and it's just fun stuff all around, and it's just a lot of movement here. The pacing's really great. Slows down a bit, and then boom, reveal. And it's just, this issue has been just great. Like, the setup for this sort of sequence has been great. Has been kind of slow, as in, where are they gonna go? As in, Griselda seems to be winning, and it's just like, how are they gonna keep up with Griselda? Drake and Becky and Screaming Crow, what are you gonna do? A lot of action here. Seems like they can hold their own weight, and it seems like they're gonna handle this for sure. Just a lot of crazy imagery, a lot of pacing, a lot of great stuff. Love this issue. Self-Ambassadors number 7. We're still in the flashback issues with how Coach Boss became Coach Boss. A lot of development with his dad this time around, and also how Big is influencing him and in the football, and how he's really helping out with the father issue thing. And this issue was just great. Just seeing how Boss has been reacting to his dad, and just how he's going to take care of his life and just taking it in charge sort of thing. It's great character development. It was really enjoyable read. Though I sort of wish they have a flash forward or whatever back to the current story arc, but I swear it's probably going to go on for a while, as we have to establish why Coach Boss is the way he is. And it's been great development as to it. Really dwells in the background of him to become this stoic sort of dude in the current arc that began, I forgot when, the beginning of the series obviously, but it was just great to see how he became to be, and I'm interested and continue reading. So next up we have Thor number 5. We start off with some female versus female action, and that was a surprising turn of events, as Titania refuses to fight female Thor. I don't even know what to call her, just Thor. And then we also have Freya just talking about it with Thor, and then we have a lot of, like, just anguish from Odin, who's just really figuring out, like, who is this woman? And also we got God of Fear back into the picture, as in, like, what is he gonna do now? Is he gonna kill the new 2 Thors or something? And it's just, like, really figuring out that this woman's identity is super shrouded, and who's gonna figure it out? It seems like it's gonna be I don't know how they're gonna figure it out. But we got Sif's return, and just like sort of this non-impressed sort of moment sort of thing. It's just like argument, and it was interesting to bring more characters into the fold as we sort of get used to this new Thor. And also we gonna even have a Freya and Thor moment, so that was interesting to see, just them talking about the whole hammer situation and what's that gonna be. Being accepted by Thor's mother is not bad at all. And also we have this crazy ending of just what is Odin going to send after the new Thor. So that'd be an exciting issue to read, definitely. Next up, Guardians 3000 number 5. More progression in the plot, obviously. A lot of, like, Joe Madara sort of homage or sort of influence. Pretty big action splash sequence. And it's just getting to know who's who, and just like this whole time continuum and thing is just who are you, and just figuring it out. And obviously this A sentence is still a threat, and obviously they need an exit strategy. And it's just fun stuff. I really enjoy this series, even though I have no idea where it's going. Art is fun, action sequences are nice, and just like, look at that, action. Though it's sort of static somewhat, obviously, but I enjoy it. It's sort of a guilty read, really. And obviously we have the other people with the new Nova Corps, or the only Nova Corps woman. And we have Star-Lord, the new Star-Lord of this generation. And it's just fun stuff, and just like, where are they happening, what is happening, and they meet a Herald. That's good stuff. Like, so there's a lot of things happening in this issue, and I really enjoyed it. And I cannot wait for the next issue, because it seems like the last sequencing, not gonna ruin it here, but seriously, it's going to be fun, for sure. So Amazing Spider-Man 6, Part 6, and issue 14. So now we are done with the Spider-Verse. There was, I don't really know how I feel about this whole event thing. There's a lot of spider people happening, a lot of great fun, just to say, oh, look at that. But realistically, I feel it's more of like a cop-out gimmick sort of thing, as in, hey, we can bring in a lot of different Spider-Mans, so let's do it. But the action sequences here is just not exactly exciting. And it's just part 6, so I feel like this could have been really fleshed out a lot more. and it just wasn't that exciting. And I don't know, I guess the art was fine, but it's just sort of excessive in terms of like, hey, these vampire spider people supposedly were super strong, and all of a sudden they're not that amazing anymore, and this thing is happening, and then we obviously it ends, and I don't really know how I feel about it. I feel that they could have been really fleshed out and just made into better. I don't know. I think there's just way too much stuff happening in this event. Could have been toned down a bit, drawn it out. 6 parts. I mean, sure, we have a lot of like other books, but they're just those specific spiders that have been in that vicinity or whatever. But I think the main storyline could have fleshed out these guys definitely a lot more, and maybe they'll be explained more in the epilogue when they're like all defeated and go like, hey, let's have a monologue or a narration about how these things were crazy. And obviously Madam Web's gonna come back, and it's just like this whole thing about like this ultimate dimensions and stuff. It's just like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it's gimmicky, nice to bring Spider-Gwen into this whole fold. Like, I'm very appreciative of this whole Spider-Verse thing that brought her in, and she has her own book now, and that's amazing. But it's just like, I don't know. It just feels empty. It could have been a lot more umph into it. Star Wars Darth Vader 1. I really did enjoy this issue because it takes place between episode 4 and 5, and I really buy this stuff. With him doing his own stuff and not really interacting with the other cast members, feels a lot more authentic, and I go like, I feel like this could have happened. Because I realize that when I read Star Wars, the actual 1/3 issue now, it changes the dynamics of the film, but with the stuff here, it's like, it's not as bad, and I really appreciate that, because it's story building in terms of a character that we all know, and it's not like he's learning anything new, but he's doing things that we haven't seen, but might have heard of, and I really did enjoy that, and I really believe that if we watch Star Wars Rebels, it will make a lot more sense, and I think they are doing that, as in, these comics are building the new world, and you would just appreciate it to be a bigger world. But with the Star Wars, I feel like it's a cop-out, as in, like, you change the dynamics of characters when they meet, and you add more meetings in between movies when it seems so fresh and raw in terms of just, whoa, I'm finally meeting Darth Vader face-to-face in episode 5. But if you show up in the comics and tell them that, like, actually, we met before. So it takes away that stuff. Here, it shows the ruthlessness of Vader and just his efficiency and what he needs to do. And it's just like, just great stuff. And I really enjoyed it. I think I'm enjoying this much more than Star Wars. Next up, I finally picked up Vertigo Quarterly Y issue. So this is the 3rd issue of the series. I'm going backwards, sorry. But I enjoyed it as well, just like the Black issue. And I would say I enjoyed the Black one much more in terms of just the progression of art. It's more of my style. I feel like with this issue there was a lot more abstract art and just different styles of art that I'm not used to. But the stories overall were interesting and just fun overall. And like, this story is really wacky. It's like a taxi guy going to Mars and just like craziness happening all over. And I really did enjoy that. And we had lemons. But beyond that, it's just a great price with different creators. You can just see of different kind of styles, definitely contrast each other, and it's just really wacky, and I'm totally down for wackiness and just like totally out of the world. So we even have Bill Sienkiewicz in this issue, so that's a great plus, just to see his abstractness, and it's just really whacked out art, and it's just fun for sure. Definitely pick it up if you haven't. It's just really great storytelling too. So overall, I'm pleased to say that for 2 out of 4, I'm enjoying these, and I hope the first 2 are enjoyable as well. They should be, as in, you know, people probably bought a lot of them, and yeah, it's just like all these different stories. It's just like these standalone shorts really help give you a breath of fresh air if you have been reading sort of just superheroes or things that are ongoing. So just to have something to conclude and just have something like, you know, exists in its own world. It's like start and finish, and you can read it all in a bit. It's just fun, and just like all these like imagery is just really awesome, and I definitely recommend this entire line. I really hope next year they keep on doing this because it was just fun and a totally worth your while read. So I picked up the Shadow Hero because of Sonny Liew, I don't know. But it's a crazy story. I mean, it is based on the Golden Age comic series, The Green Turtle. And it was just fun just to see how they brought back a classic and just update it in terms of just the art style and just like the Asianness. I mean, Asian Americanness is like it's fun. It's definitely fun, and it's just seeing how he becomes a superhero sort of thing. The art is nice, pacing is nice, story is simple, but it works. I mean, it's not gonna break any great ground or anything, but it's just like, oh, great. And then best part about this is that it has the original Green Turtle in the back, and it's just like, wow, history. So check that out. I mean, you get some crazy old school Golden comics for the price of a trade, and it was just enjoyable and fun. And it's published by First Second. They have been seemingly a pretty good publisher, as in they publish like really crazy great stories. And definitely check out Sonny Liew because he's awesome and I love his art. And there you have it. That's it for this week's comics. If you see any gems, totally comment and just tell me what you got that I didn't. Just, recommend stuff. Totally cool for that. Anyway, that's pretty much it. See you next week. Out.